Good evening, everyone, and welcome to WLF Live. I am Erica Salee, speaker, author, transformation success coach, owner of True Synergy, and the creator of the Citizen Room. And I am excited to be here, your host for tonight's WLF Live. Listen, I hope that you got pen and paper and you are ready to hang out with me for the next 30 minutes. I've got some nuggets that I want to share with you, and you don't want to miss this conversation. So, as I am getting things set up, getting ready for the conversation, here's what I want you to do. I want you to share this out. Share it with your community, share it with your tribe, because you want to make sure that they get the information. I know how it is. When you hear information, you hear what you need, but it could be totally different than what someone else needs. So I'm going to ask you to share it out with your community right now, because I know that you have someone in mind who could hear some nuggets about how to set yourself up for success for the next 6 months of the year. So I just want to take this opportunity, first of all, to give a shout out to the creator, the visionary behind this platform. Colette Coakley is the founder and the brains behind the Women's Leadership Forum. And so this is an opportunity for us to just expand, enlightening, empowering, informing all the viewers on how to really create your best version, whatever that looks like for you personally, professionally, in all areas of your life. So if you have not been tuned in with us to this point, then you want to make sure that you stay connected to this platform, because we have some amazing presenters who also host this show. And so I want to give a shout out to them as well. So listen. You can catch us every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Every single week, you're going to hear another dynamic host just bringing nuggets to you to help you. Yes, come on now, move forward. And so you want to make sure you don't miss any of the goodies, okay? All right, so listen, I have so much I want to share with you, and I know we have a limited time tonight. So again, get your paper, get your pencil, invite your friends, get your tribe into this conversation so that they can get what they need to move forward. I might say that multiple times as we continue on in this conversation, but here's the thing. So I actually had this conversation at the beginning of the year. And I thought that because we were coming out of 2020 with all of its challenges, some of which we are still feeling and probably will feel for a while, I wanted to kind of shift our attention and our focus to something more positive. And so I shared this topic at the beginning of the year, but over the last couple of weeks and really the last couple of months, I've been hearing a common theme among my friends, among colleagues, among my clients, my family members, just kind of feeling the vibe of what people are still thinking and experiencing as we are, yes, at the 6 month mark of the year. Can y'all believe that? Like, it is now, actually, you may as well say June is over. So when I thought about, some of the conversations I've been having and some of the things that I've been seeing posted on social media, I thought this was a perfect time to bring this conversation back to the forefront. And so I want to get an idea from you as to whether or not any of this looks familiar. Hey, Joanne, good to see you on. Happy Monday, kicking off the week with some good nuggets. So Joanne, thank you for being here in this conversation. And listen, if you come back and you see this conversation later on, do hashtag replay. Let us know that you checked in. You might hear a little rumble of thunder in the background. Got a little storm brewing, but I'm hoping that the storm that I'm about to share outshadows the storm that's brewing outside. So y'all hang with me. So I want to know something. I want to know whether or not any of these statements that I'm about to read to you sound familiar. Now, if this is you, then you can type me in the comments. But if it's somebody else, perhaps you've had conversation with people and you know this sounds familiar because you've heard it from someone else, and I just want you to type yes. Okay, so it's either me, yep, I can identify, or it's yes, somebody else has shared, or you might say, yeah, me, and I know people who have said the same thing. So here's the first thing I want to do, and I want you to fill in the blank. I want to do blank, but I'm not smart enough. I don't have the money. I don't know the right people. Does that sound familiar? Like, go ahead. Hey, Roz, good to see you. Hey there, Janice, good to see you. So, if that sounds familiar, I want to do X, but I don't have what it takes. I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. Nope, I ain't been to the right places. Don't live in the right neighborhood. Like, does that sound familiar? Or I think, yep, Virginia, okay, you, absolutely. I'm going to raise my hand because I have said all of those things before. So thank you for acknowledging that I'm not by myself. Or maybe this one sounds familiar. I'm going to try. I'm not so sure. Yep, got you. Yeah, been there too. Joanne, I feel you. You got it. Here's the next one. Oh, wait a minute. My friends, my family, they done me wrong. I can't seem to get over this because we're just not close like we used to be. And I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening. I'm going to try to fix it. I'm not sure. I'm just not feeling the love. Does that sound familiar to anybody? And we all have stuff: family drama, friend drama, co-worker drama, all of that. So if that is you, thank you. Hey, Harpreet. Hey, happy Monday. Yep, you've heard that before. I think we can all identify with that. But here's the thing: when we stay focused on that part of the conversation, here's what that does: it creates this level of self sabotage. Because if we are not careful, guess what happens? We dwell in that space, and it's difficult for us to see possibilities on the other side of that. So tonight, I want to share with you, like, how do you shift from that? And we all have it, the negative narrative, right? That we think about constantly. We say the things out of our mouths. So we're all part of the experience of knowing what that feels like. But what I want us to focus on tonight, now tonight is what, June the 21st? June the 21st, 2021. So I want us to think about all of that self-sabotage and figure out how we can poof, throw it out the window, get rid of it, and figure out how to deal with it. That's what this conversation is about. So I'm going to share a formula with you. And this is probably one of the simplest formulas, but we misuse it in so many different ways. We're using it constantly and we don't even know that sometimes we're not using it to our benefit. So I want you to get your pen and paper out now. If you're driving and you happen to be listening, then no, I don't want you to do anything but keep your hand on the wheel and your eyes in front. But you might want to go back to check out the replay because I want you to get every single nugget. So here's the formula. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you the formula. I'm going to unpack it. And then I'm going to give you a couple of rules of the road on how to use the formula, okay? So I'm going to give it to you. We're going to break it down. And then I'm going to tell you, okay, here's some do's and don'ts on how to use that formula. Yeah, Harpreet, all right, she's ready. She's like, let's do it. You got your pen and your paper? Good deal, good deal, good deal. So here is the formula. Y'all ready? You ready, you ready, you ready, you ready? All right, here goes. All right, mind plus mouth times movement equals manifestation. I'm going to say that again. Mind plus mouth times movement equals manifestation. Okay, I want to sing it. Mind plus mouth times movement equals what? Come on now, type it in the chat. Equals manifestation. Now you can say it equals creation, it equals something happening, it equals results, however you want to phrase it. But I'm telling you, mind plus mouth times movement equals manifestation. So what does that mean? How do we break that down? Well, it's real simple. What you think plus what you say times what you do is going to get you the results. It's going to create the change and transformation and possibility for you. What you think plus what you say times what you do is going to move you where? Come on, somebody type it in the chat. Going to move you forward. I want to see you type it. Come on, type it. It's going to move you forward. It's going to help you to create. Yes, Janice, it brings the results. So let me just give you an example of how the formula needs to look or should look. And then I'm going to show you how we kind of muck it up a little bit. And I'm saying muck it up for, the airwaves sake. But you can fill in the blank and you can say what you choose. Just don't type it in the chat. Say it to yourself. So here's the thing. I'm going to use a simple example. And I think we can all identify with this. And it is the example of weight, right? I want to either lose weight, I want to eat right, all of that kind of stuff. So most of us at one point or another have said, oh, I want to lose weight. I need to get my act together. Now, other people, they might say, oh, I need to gain a little weight. I don't know too many people who need to gain, but I have heard a few little conversations of people who say, yeah, that's me, okay? So let's use that example. And I'm going to put the formula into that particular scenario. So let's say, for instance, you're saying to yourself, okay, I know I got to do better. I got to eat right. I got to, lose 15 pounds, 20 pounds, whatever that is. So you think that to yourself, right? Okay, so that's the mind part. And then you say it out of your mouth, and maybe you're having conversation with your girlfriends or your buddies, and you're saying, you know what? I got to lose this weight. I got to get these 15 pounds off. I'm going to eat right. I'm going to drink more water. I'm going to get more sleep. That's speaking it out of your mouth. Okay, you with me? So we got the mind part. I'm thinking it. I'm speaking it. I'm saying it to myself, saying it to my family, saying it to my friends. And then we multiply it times, okay, well, what are we going to do about it? So the movement part comes in when we say, okay, I'm not just thinking it and saying it, I'm going to do something about it. So what do? Well, that movement is I'm going to start researching different types of foods that I need to eat, different recipes that I can use to make the food. I'm actually cooking new foods, different recipes. I'm taking care of my body by getting up, going for walks, getting that physical movement. So that is the action part. That's the times movement. Now, let me stop right here because you might be saying, well, wait a minute, why you multiply, right? Okay, so you said the mind and you added the mouth and then you multiply the movement. Why is that? Here's the reason why. Now, I know that multiplication is just repeated addition. Okay, so when it comes to bringing something about, bringing something to fruition, creating change, manifesting, creating results, goals, achievement, success, all of that, we have to understand how crucial not just the action is, but the repeated action. Because sometimes we have to do things over and over and over and over and over and over until we see that result. Sometimes we got to do over because we might stumble a little bit and say, oh, wait a minute, I got to readjust, I got to reset. So I might have to multiply, amplify my action in order to get to the level of manifestation. So at the end of the day, when you put the mind, the mouth, and you put the action into play, you're going to step on that scale, manifestation. Oh, wait a minute, I've lost 5 of those pounds. Oh, wait a minute, I'm going to keep doing it, multiplying that action. I've lost 10. Oh, and by the way, hey, y'all, I reached my goal. There's the manifestation. But let me tell you what we have a tendency to do. So I'm going to use the same example. Mind plus mouth times movement equals what? Creating. Right? So wait a minute, I want to see what Joanne, she's got some people saying some stuff. So Joanne says what I think plus what I say times what I do. She's repeating it there. She's got it. Yes. It's going to move me where? You got it, Joanne. Ding, ding, ding. Forward. But here is what we do. So we're either taking the factors, right? Let's just use the same example. All right, so I want to lose this weight. I'm saying it to myself. But then you turn around and you come out of the mouth part. So the mind, yep, okay, I'm thinking it. No, I got to do it. Plus, let me say, you say, you know what? I need to lose this weight. I need to lose some weight. I need to eat some different foods. But you know what? I ain't going to be able to do that. No, I ain't going to be able to get this weight off. This is the conversation you're having either with yourself or with other people. So you see how the formula is already getting twisted because you've said it, yes, But now you're having conversation with yourself or other people that's contrary to what you're thinking. So you already see, oh, wait a minute. Oh, the formula. Okay, I've said it, but what I'm speaking is something totally different. And then what happens is when it comes to the movement part, you're confused. And you're saying, okay, my mind is saying one thing, but I'm saying something else. And when it comes to movement, guess what? I'm not doing anything. Now, let me say this. One of my favorite subjects in school, it wasn't math. But what I do know is this, is that anything multiplied times zero equals what? Somebody type it in the chat. Anything multiplied times zero equals what? Come on now, come on. Anything times zero equals what? It equals zero. So if you say to yourself, okay, yep, I need to lose this weight, and you can fill in the blank. I'm using weight as an example, but you know what you're saying to yourself about your own situation. If I'm saying to myself, oh, wait, yep, I need to lose this weight, but oh no, you know what? I ain't gonna be able to do it. I can't do it. I tried it before, it doesn't work. That's what's coming out of your mouth. So you're not gonna put in the effort, the action, the movement that's required in order to get you to manifestation. And then what's gonna happen is you'll look up and you'll get frustrated. You'll get down on yourself. You start kicking and moving and screaming and saying, oh my goodness, it didn't happen. It didn't work for me. Why? Because the factors are all mixed up. So the first thing is that you can't like mix it all together. They have to be congruent. They have to be aligned. So if you say the thing or if you think the thing, then what you say out of your mouth has to line up with that. And then what you do has to line up with that. So I want to ask you this question. How many of you right now, and you can either choose to raise your hand. I don't know if there's a chat or raise your hand feature in the comments, or you can type in the comments, yep, that's me, I get it. But how many of you, if you track back to just the last week or two, and you think about it, you say to yourself, ooh, if I were to assess myself on how I'm using this formula, you think you were using it the right way, the first way that I explained, where the person stepped on the scale and she's like, oh, I lost 5 pounds, I lost 10 pounds, or are you the one who's like, yeah, I'm self-sabotaging? I'm self-sabotaging my own ability to find possibilities because I'm checking myself out, right? You know, I want to do this, but something keeps telling me I can't do it. Okay, I want to do it. There it is in your mind. But something keeps telling me. I don't care whether you say it to somebody, whether you text it to somebody, whether you email it. If you are thinking, yeah, there's something better for me, there's something I've been wanting to do, I've been talking about it for a long time, but it's just talk. So that's the other part of the formula, right? Let me check my time. This is the other part of the formula. So let's say, for instance, you think it, yeah, I can do it. I got it. Okay, I'm going to go out there. I'm going to try it. I'm going to step out there. You're thinking it, and then you say it, right? You start talking to your friends about it. You know what? I've been thinking about doing this for a long time. Been thinking about writing the book, getting the new job, starting the business, losing the weight, finding the new relationship. So now mind and mouth are aligned, but guess what? That action, the movement, times zero. So you can say it and you can think it, but if you do not put the steps in place, if you don't give yourself the opportunity to say, what small thing can I do, movement, to get me there, then guess what? It's all talk. It's all right here. Meanwhile, you're still complaining, unsatisfied, not fulfilled, unhappy, no joy, no peace. Looking at the gifts and the talents that you know are on the inside of you, but you're holding out on yourself because you haven't applied the formula in the right way. Just think about it. Over the last couple weeks, do you think that you've been sabotaging your possibilities? You think you've been putting yourself down to the point where your ability can't peek through? Well, guess what? Here's what I want you to do. I want you to realize that tonight is the shift. See, transformation begins when we begin to break down those barriers that keep us from getting to our best version. So if to this point you've been using that formula thinking something, but you've been saying something totally different, or maybe you're saying something, yeah, I can do it, I got it, but in your mind, it's not quite lining up, which again means that your action is not going to line up with either because there's confliction. But think about tonight. as the shift that you and I need to say, you know what? To this point, I've been using this formula, but I've been using it the wrong way. So I'm going to challenge you in just a moment. But before I give you a little assignment, yep, I'm giving you something to do because I don't want you to walk away from this conversation the same way that you came in, especially if you've been thinking to yourself, I'm stuck. Man, I really wish I could. I've been trying, I've been thinking, I've been hoping, I've been wishing, and it ain't been coming to fruition. I want this to be the moment when you say, ooh, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to do something different. Why? Because I deserve it. And then what I have on the inside of me, guess what? That gets to touch every single person that we are connected to. And there's too much at stake for you not to tap into the formula the right way. So let me see what y'all saying. So Janice says, don't think about the whole pie. Ooh, that's a good one, honey. Don't think about the whole pie. Now, let me tell you something. When I make sweet potato pie, I can't help but think about the whole pie because it's just that good. But you know what? If I try to eat the whole thing all at one time, guess what? I'm going to make myself sick. And if I step on the scale, I'm going to be going the opposite direction of the what I was talking about earlier in my scenario. So she says, eat one piece at a time so that it's not so overwhelming to accomplish. Bite-sized pieces. Let me say this real quick, and then I'm going to give you something that I want you to walk away with. When we think about transformation, and I'm saying this because I know this to be true, it's like, oh my gosh, it's so big. But when we take one step, one small step at a time, small wins equal big results. I say that to my clients all the time. So when you get it in your mind, okay, I'm gonna do this one little thing. Okay, when I do that, I'm gonna check the box and I'm gonna move on to the next thing. Okay, when I do that, I'm gonna check the box and I'm gonna move on to the next thing. Let me tell you how I had to put this formula to the test for myself just a few weeks ago. So I was working on a project, just recently launched the Citizen Room, and I had a room in my basement that was cluttered full of stuff. I mean, this was the catch-all for everything. Christmas decorations, dance costumes, old stuff from my daughter's dorm room, you name it, it was in there. And so in my mind, I'm saying to myself, okay, you've got to clean out this space because you need to make room for the other things to support the citizen room. Okay. And I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to, but I knew I had to. In my mind, this is what I need to do. So I had to say it out of my mouth to my children, talking to friends. I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to clean this room out. This is what has to happen. Okay. That's the mind plus mouth. I had to say it. But then I had to put the action behind it. And trust and believe is not always easy to put the action behind. But to Jamisa's point, I couldn't go in there and just like wipe everything out all at one time. I would have overwhelmed myself. There's no way that I could have done it that way. So I had to go in day by day, take a little piece of this, shred a little piece of that, take a little bit of this to the Goodwill, put some of that in the trash. And over time, that's the movement piece. Now, when you go down to that room, I can open up the door and I don't have to peek behind, hoping nothing falls out. I can open the door. I can actually walk in the space, turn around, do the hokey pokey, all of that. But I had to put mind plus mouth times movement. I couldn't just think it. I couldn't just say it because it wasn't going to happen. I had to do something about it. So here's what I want you to do after this broadcast is over. I want you to pick one thing, one simple thing that you can apply this formula to. Now, it doesn't have to be, like grand. Like sometimes we think about it, okay, no, I want to start a business, I want to write a book, that's too much. No, 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 no. I want you to start with something small, tangible. It could be cleaning out a kitchen drawer, cleaning out your closet. It could be going to bed early, right? Okay, I'm thinking about it. I know I need to get more rest. I've been saying it for a while. Okay, let me say it. Talking to my family. You know what, y'all? I can't talk all night long because I'm getting to bed early. That's the mouth part. Movement is, okay, let me start making sure everything's clean, everything's straight, start shutting down, moving myself upstairs to my space. That's action. So start with something small that feels good to you, that gets you in the rhythm and the vibe of understanding how the formula works. And then when you see that, you're like, oh, wait a minute, I did go to bed early. I've gotten up, getting up the next morning, feeling rested and rejuvenated. Oh, that's how the formula works. Yeah. See, that's when we get to use that and say, oh, well, if it works for that, let me try it for something else. Oh, wait a minute, it worked for that. Let me try it for something else. The only way that we can start to transform is when we shift with small steps. Janice said it. So, what can you do? What can you do on this week? This is Monday, the beginning of the week. So over this week, you can say, okay, mind plus mouth times movement equals manifestation. Oh, where am I going to apply that? And it might be as simple as how you have the conversations. Like if to this point you've been sabotaging with, okay, I'm gonna try, I've been trying to do it, but it doesn't work. Oh my goodness, people don't like me. I'm not sure what's wrong with my friends. My family can't hang. If you've been doing that, then maybe you try to apply the formula and the manifestation is, wait a minute, my whole countenance is going to change. Why? Because I'm thinking, okay, it doesn't matter what people say, what people do. I know it's a whole lot going on, but I need to take control of me. Okay, that's the thought. Then you say it to people, right? Maybe you pick up the phone and you send somebody an email or a text and you say, you know what? I've got to put myself in a different energy. So I'm going to think positive thoughts. I'm going to be in a flow of a good energy, a good vibe. That's speaking it. And then the movement part is if you're in conversation with somebody and it doesn't feel right and you feel that pull you into the toxic space, that movement action says, oh, wait a minute, I gotta go. I gotta run and do something. And that's checking yourself out of the negative space that you'd otherwise be in. The manifestation of that is you're like, ooh, peace of mind. Oh, clarity of thought. Now I can think about how I can do something else positive for myself. You see how that works? Simple. So I want you to look at yourself, look at your life, look at your situation that's happening right now and say, where can what's the simplest way that I can apply this formula? And when you do that, I want to hear from you. I'm hoping that you go out and play around with it and even check yourself when you say, oh, I'm trying to use it, but this is here where I see the breakdown. Oh, I thought it, but wait a minute, I said the wrong thing out of my mouth. Oops, shit, let me turn it around. See, when you get present to it, then that's when the transformational moments come. That's when we can use it and apply it to our benefit so that we can see the manifestation, whatever that is. What you desire, what Jamise desires, what Joanne desires, it's going to look different. But at the end of the day, applying the formula the same way will help you to reach whatever that level of manifestation is. Okay? So let's see. What is the most simple way you can run? Okay, so thank you for putting that in. That's the assignment. What is the most simple way that you can apply the formula? That's the assignment. Like, don't walk away from this conversation and say, oh, yeah, that was good. That was nice. Nope. Because the Women's Leadership Forum is about empowering you to create that best version for you, right? Mentally, physically, spiritually, personally, professionally. So to walk away from this conversation, it is, ooh, let me apply this. And when I apply it, if there's a place of struggle or you feel like, ooh, you know what? I'm even afraid to think about this. That's where you tap in and say, well, why? I'm good enough. I've got what it takes. Might not have a whole lot in comparison to some other people, but I have enough. That's when you start to shift, right? And applying that. Whew, okay. Listen, I can stay on here all night long, but I know we got to go. But let me tell you this, it's so many things happening. So don't forget, that's the challenge. And we want to hear from you. So you can go and play around with this and come back into this conversation, post your comments, say, yup, work the formula. Here's how it worked for me. Or you know what, I tried it and here was where I had a little bit of a challenge. Because we, the Women's Leadership Forum, we can tap into that and we can give you some more nuggets to keep you pushing. So any one of us can go in and help support you if you show us the feedback. If you show up and let us know, hey, you know what? This is what I'm trying to do. This is where I need some help. This is where I need some support. This is where you can find it. So on that note, my friends, coming to the end of my time. But let me say this. You don't want to miss, saying it again, you do not want to miss Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. you want to make sure that you are in this space. And I know life is happening, so you might not be able to see the programs live, but you can come back and check out the replay. We welcome your comments, so do be sure to show up. We've got some phenomenal women hosting the WLF Live. You can check me out every third Monday of the month. New topics, new insight, all that kind of good stuff. And you also want to make sure that you remember to register for the Founders Tea coming up July the 10th, 12 to 5 p.m. You can register at forwardwlf.org. Listen, if you are looking to just expand your perception of what you want to achieve in your business, and you don't have to be a business owner. Somebody might say, well, I'm not trying to start a business. It doesn't apply to me. Nope, because there are nuggets that you can grab for whatever your situation is. So networking, making sure that, if there are key strategies that you need to implement personally, professionally for your business or not. Let me say that again, because somebody's probably checking out saying, no, they're talking about business. You can make yourself your business. Did you know that? It might not be you having a service or a product to give to others, but you can make yourself a business. That's probably a whole nother conversation for another time. But you do not want to miss out. So again, register today at forwardwlf.org. Somebody's trying to call me. Telemarketers. They don't know. I'm not done yet. But anyway, so information is on the screen. Be connected, stay connected. There's so much that's coming down the pike. We've got a whole lineup of stuff coming later in the fall. So when you start to get on this train and you move along with us, then we've got some good stuff for you. So stay connected. I appreciate you so very much. You can find me at truesynergy.org. You can also find me on Instagram at truesynergy_. You can also find me at Citizen Room on Instagram as well. That's the focus on self-care and all that good stuff. So all you have to do is connect with me on the website, truesynergy.org, and you will find all the touch points you need to stay connected with what's happening in the True Synergy space. So on that note, my friends, I want to thank you for your comments. Thank you for being here. And we cannot wait to see you again next time. Until I see you, I want you to take care and be well. Mwah.